The following is a public service announcement.
To live can often be confused with why me. How do we all come to be? The universe recognize a single sentence that I mean. I don't need a complete explanation of a horizontal figure eight, but it would be nice to be content before I re-enter the stream. I deem myself none other than a being and friend that channel allows for tightly stitched seams on which my understanding of life becomes a shade more seen. Distorted beliefs no longer hold water when wonder is really by requiem for a dream. Often is a challenge appreciated, but there is always a boiling point at which divine is willing to intervene. When stuck in a rut, it's not enough to try and just blow off the steam, but release from the pressure valve, something which I'm sure that we can all agree that we need. I hope I don't ever reach a point where I have to bleed, but a little piece of reassurance of what this whole life means. If there was a truth I've yet to see, if there was a truth I've yet to see, if there was a thought I've yet to think, somebody let me know by all means. If there was a me I've yet to be, if there was a God I've yet to meet, somebody let me know by all means. If there was a truth I've yet to see, if there was a thought I've yet to think, if there was a me I've yet to be, if there was a God I've yet to meet, somebody let me know by all means. Somebody let me know. That same old feeling of unknown or unbeknownst to me. Drawing conclusions on this terrestrium leaves me incomplete, like only catching a peek at a mere one piece in this Pacific gallery. I can't afford to only put forth partial effort to worry about a salary. I may have many unanswered questions, but currency finds it relating in my reality of this galaxy. As story grows to myth, the myth becomes a fantasy. And somewhere within the structure, I'm out of fine totality. To apply to my day-to-day life tangibly, can it be? Even as a whole entire complete race, we lack the proper anatomy to believe that we can dictate law of land when man applies not to the heavenly bodies. Focus so casually in astrology, there ought to be something more to be said for existence and its anomalies. Instead of cease and dismiss, we seize and hold in contempt, and all the while war runs rapidly. If there was a truth I've yet to see, if there was a truth I've yet to see, if there was a thought I've yet to think, somebody let me know by all means. If there was a me I've yet to be, if there was a God I've yet to meet, somebody let me know by all means. If there was a truth I've yet to see, if there was a thought I've yet to think, if there was a me I've yet to be, if there was a God I've yet to meet, somebody let me know by all means. Somebody let me know. We all suffer the consequence, everything is relevant. We can't even communicate, you claim that we intelligent. Destroy your own environment as if it was an accident. Almost out of clean water, everyone is in astonishment. We are the race of negligent, tear down nature in its glory, call that development. Swear that it's accomplishment, act as if in the universe we're the ones that are prominent. Always thinking we're dominant, compete like life's a tournament. Until there is an argument, first instinct always has us down the road to embattlement. From ferment to tenement, remember your effect to life stream will be permanent. Remember your effect to life stream will be permanent. If there was a truth I've yet to see, if there was a thought I've yet to think, somebody let me know by all means. If there was a me I've yet to be, if there was a God I've yet to meet, somebody let me know by all means. If there was a truth I've yet to see, if there was a thought I've yet to think, if there was a me I've yet to be, if there was a God I've yet to meet, somebody let me know by all means. Somebody let me know. Shake, 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 shake it up.
Breakdown.
West Coast, West Coast. It's time for the shakedown. TAC. Shake, 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 shake it up.
Breakdown.
909. It's time for the shakedown. It's time for the shakedown. Time for the breakdown. Not beats. It's time to motivate these streets. Put away the heat. Forgive our differences, but never repeat. The only way to check the chief of police is the voice him out of office. Believe can achieve more than we're allowed to see. Custer had his last stand because of tribal unity. When we're organized, we will more efficiently. There will be no silencing or blacklisting. A red tape rolls in the face of ignorance. Dr. King did his slowest role. Malcolm X understood his role. Medgar Evers knew he was a role model pillar of his community to achieve equality, the goal. The great ones that lost their lives but volunteered their soul as a sacrifice to the many for the rights. A sniper sights can assassinate all of our might. Let them bring the nightsticks, mag lights, handcuffs, handguns. National Guard, FBI, CIA, leave behind bugs. Hear that sound, sounds like they're scared of us. When it all goes down, who you gonna trust? Hear that sound, sounds like they're scared of us. Are you in or are you out? Who you gonna trust? Hear that sound sounds like they scared of us. We on the front lines, we grunts in their eyes. Your fight is my fight, your plight is my plight. You spill my blood, you lose some of your sight. If I jack from you, I make my own pockets light. In the long run, what's right is what's right, and I ride from my insight. I never needed the limelight or popularity, just sincerity. Please save your lives for enemy lines, find some integrity. If you for the cause, then be there for me. I'll be here for you, I can see through and tell if you're being true. Never understood an activist that was done when the stun guns and the riot gear was the opposition's tool. Police our own state of mind or remain the fool. Tightly spun from the spool when it's down to the duel. The time has surpassed for me and you to choose if we're on the same page with our views. I'd rather die trying to surrender my belief when grief pays a visit with the blues. We will carry on battered and bruised. Brutality they choose out of the fear of the chance that the power they might lose when it all goes down.
Check it out, check it, check it, check it, check it out.
When it all goes down.
Check it out, check it, check it, check it out.
When it all goes down.
Check it out, check it out.
When it all goes down.
Check it out.
When it all goes down, who you gonna trust? Hear that sound, sounds like they're scared of us. Are you in or are you out? Who you gonna trust? Hear that sound, sounds like they're scared of us. The grimmest of circumstances could have a glimpse of hope. That's why it makes a big difference when you say I don't vote. When you're grabbed by the throat, are you just gonna stand there and choke or invoke your amendments down to the last quote? Provoke growth with your actions. Rope-a-dope the president when he starts the drafting. We must carry ourselves in an orderly fashion. Up against the odds, our only chance is diligence, intelligence, fueled along by our passion. Rise to the occasion and step aside when we declare the invasion. Lives may be lost and lives may be taken. It won't be complete until a higher consciousness is awakened. So watch the comments around me that you're making. A person's word is all they really have, and it's your words that I'm taking. Take advantage of that and you can find your place vacant. That's not a threat, just the reality of our situation. We intend to make a mark in the history books of all nations. So stay tuned.
Check it out.
Stay tuned for the revolution, renovation. When it all goes down.
Check it out. Check it, check it, check it out.
When it all goes down.
Check it out. Check it out.
When it all goes down.
Check it, check it, check it, check it out.
When it all goes down.
Check it out.
When it all goes down, who you gonna trust? Hear that sound, sounds like they're scared of us. Are you in or are you out? Who you gonna trust? Hear that sound, sounds like they're scared of us. When it all goes down, who you gonna trust? Hear that sound, sounds like they're scared of us. Are you in or are you out? Who you gonna trust? Hear that sound, sounds like they're scared of us.
That's the sound of the beast. 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 That's the sound of the police.
What, 1, 2.
LA.
Mr. Maintain.
LA.
Bit to big woes.
LA.
The fresh coast. Fresh coast. Fresh coast. Ceremony and cipher hand to hand within the woes. Maintain control, so I gotta rock show. Stepping side to side, sometimes I travel through these black holes. I used to play into the trap that they called my role. But it's not a surprise that I realize the government despise when a wise guy like myself voices the opinion of the lies that's going down. There's corruption all around, even found in the hearts of the good and the pure. I'm sure the human race cannot endure existence for much longer. Through the pain and suffering, I'm only growing stronger. So I ponder off into the destiny of mankind. Still I cannot find the solution. Death, suffering, hatred, pain, and pollution. Not a new concept I'm introducing. I'm looking through the smog and I still can't see. Will there be no revolution? Just above the border and south of the bay, we've been posted head alone here in Southern Calais. Dealing with disorder which is causing our dismay. How long will the chaos run free in LA? Just above the border and south of the bay, we've been posted head alone here in Southern Calais. If there is no law and order which we can't afford to pay, then out of the chaos we form our own in LA. We gotta come together, take our life life in a stride, swallow our pride. Great ones before us tried and died, but they're still alive inside all of us. We must trust in what's real, not in a dollar bill. It will not make a difference, your material lease. When your body's deceased on a starving journey, your soul is the feast. At least we got hip-hop and fat, I'm a hip-hop head. It's my passion of life, it's my mother's milk, I'm breastfed. It can make me move when I'm perfectly still. Get an adrenaline rush when my freestyles come at will. Never without my music, it's embedded in my soul. Beatboxing in my wheelchair when I'm 80 years old. The beat won't stop the palpitations through when my body's cold. Recycle styles that I see, straight start to grow mold. And so I'm told that this hip-hop won't last forever. But as long as the woes is around, my rhymes will endeavor. Just above the border and south of the bay, we've been posted hella long here in Southern Calais. Dealing with disorder which is causing our dismay. How long will the chaos run free in LA? Just above the border and south of the bay, we've been posted hella long here in Southern Calais. If there is no law and order which we can't afford to pay, then out of the chaos we form our own in LA. Earthquakes, the heart breaks, waiting for the ground to shake. This is where we get down, and this is how we create from the Golden Gate, holding down that real estate right next to the ocean, where they're waiting for the potion that we pass from the generations that would outlast into the next. We be keeping it with the text, the verbally expressing when they building from the flesh. That's how we do it to the heart, pummeling and break them down until they get the start. Speak your mind and let your body language follow. Everybody's got some pride, but no one wants to swallow. Aggravated situations leading to another death. Many words can be said before we reach our last breath. Communication is the key to any sound relationship. You'd be surprised when compromise between individuals is met. Cause in the land of la-la, trigger fingers tend to itch. Nowadays you'll get blasted when you ain't even saying shit. How is this? It dates back further than some may think. Territorialism has always played a part in modern man's instinct. Isn't it obvious? Countries, flags, and maps, division of people drawn out onto lines that are exact. For instance, let's take a look at the birth of the US of A. The colonists land and decide that they could claim the whole terrain. Ain't that a gang set tripping on native tribes for their own personal gain? Could we really look at East Los or South Central as if that's supposed to be strange? This entire nation was built up by so-called immigrants. Neighborhoods were formed because times have always been racially tense. You follow me? Is this all making sense? Hoods spread across the land, now all these races are condensed. Theft, murder, and rape is how the Constitution materialized. The biggest contradictions when the government tells us to be civilized. People born in poverty do what they can to try and survive. In some urban areas, you're lucky to make age 25. It's really rather perfect from the system's point of view. They watch us kill each other just the way they want us to. And while we fight our brethren for a little piece of the cake, they sit back and relax with all the money that they make. We all form the oil that fuels along this ill machine, but it's business as usual until the masses intervene. That's the part of the equation that I never seem to get. We outnumber them completely, but we still allow this shit? Imagine for a moment if we put truth to all the lies. It's supposedly alright for all the people to arise. Democracy has failed, those in power should face the consequence. Starting with the president being placed under citizen's arrest. Round up all the corporate mongrels, politicians and Congress. Put them on the stand, interrogate until they all confess. Let them taste the justice system that's had us all oppressed. See how they like death row when they're the dead man walking next. So, speak your mind and let your body language follow. Everybody's got some pride, but no one wants to swallow. Communication is the key to any sound relationship. You'd be surprised if we combined and kept the power where it lives.
Is it possible that we're so conditioned to our daily lives, so conditioned to the way we create our lives, that we buy the idea that we have no control at all?
Altitude 21,000 feet, still looking very good.
There's only one question.
How
many
we got
people?
good data. Still looking
How
great,
many
you're
people?
going.
How many people right here, right now? All proud, got a voice that they use loud. How many people right here, right now? All proud, got a voice that they use loud. There is a choice in every direction. How decisions could change your life, but only if allowed. Brainstorm conclusions, disintegrate clouds. Video confusions reverberate due to sound. Reviving qualifiers, reverence of the noun. Time waits for no one, so break the clock down. A stand must be taken along with the vow to educate, demonstrate, and always hold ground. Look around. It reads in fine ink. Demos with these people, but those definition strength. What's the missing link to this equation that's not in sync? Nova Sotos and Chlorine, the way in which we're supposed to think. I think not any longer, the action is out of range. Like Jack in the Box, it's time for us to make change. Eject these self-proclaimed players that's getting played by the game. Can't be having the people's name taken in vain. We don't need a messiah that's making profit to be saved, or a pedophile priest telling us who to obey. Politicians, police, they all in place to keep us tamed. I don't know about y'all, but I'ma break the chain gang. How many people right here, right now, all proud, got a voice that they use loud? How many people right here, right now, all proud, got a voice that they use loud? We are responsible for the wars that's going down. It ain't America the country, it's America the crown. The modern day room theory is incorrect. It didn't have ICBMs to pose a catastrophic threat. Global control paid for by our credit card debt. The cigarettes we smoke and the houses that we rent. They tax us for our rights in exchange for the internet. Cell phones and sodas to keep us all content. U.S. citizen doesn't make us a righteous element. The government used September 11 to exploit the innocent. Domination of the world over one tragic event. Conspiracy or not, it seems a little too convenient. Convenience will pumps the blood in this nation's IB. The UN, a broader scale of control in the world community. All investors follow the leader, the home of the brave, land of the free. Leaving us to praise the minimum wage from sea to shining sea. How many people right here, right now, all proud, got a voice that they use loud? How many people right here, right now, all proud, got a voice that they use loud? They fix elections, but I still put my mark down, cause I've been known the ballot box exists on hollow ground. It's my duty to make it harder for the supreme recount. They passed the Patriot Act so the empire could strike now. Congress blindly signs with a closed mouth. History dictates greed will supersede a divided house to give uncontested power to the Bush compound. No identification needed, they can come and lock you down for an undetermined amount of time. Guantanamo bound, the blanket of freedom becomes tightly wrapped around. They use fear of so-called enemies to keep us full of doubt. Not a one questions the offshore bank accounts. You too could be a terrorist if it fits the agenda's routes. Gag orders, give it a stomp, the resistance out. Haven't you heard the helicopters tonight that swoop by your house? National security, another secret shroud to keep you loyal to the king. What the crumbs he's throwing out. Corporations keep us blind with advertisement, eye gouge. Capitalism sold you everything and wants your soul now. We decide what we leave our children to hold down. Our heritage is priceless, so let me hear them voices sound. How many people right here, right now, all proud, got a voice that they use loud? How many people right here, right now, all proud, got a voice that they use loud? How many people right here, right now, all proud, got a voice that they use loud? How many people right here, right now, all proud, got a voice that they use loud? Right here, right now, all proud, got a voice that they use loud. How many people? How many people? How many people? How many people? mission, using my intuition. The way to me it was given. Just look inside of my eyes and you can see that I am driven. Effort will be cemented by following my commitment, and no one could really tell me how it is that I am living. Painting my portrait vivid and open in my exhibit. I'm always my biggest critic, so never take me for timid. This is a test of my limits, of which I'm finding no end in. Believing in my decisions and trusting in all my visions. Signals that I'm transmitting, the pen that says it was written. Pages that I'm forgetting, all blending with my permission. Keeping me with my diction and freeing me from the friction. Reminding me when I need to speak and when I need to listen. It's my life, my life. It's my sight, my sight. It's my wrong, my right. It's my life. It's my life, my life. It's my sight, my sight. It's my wrong, my right. It's my life, my life, my life. Balance, give me direction that's passing of my complexion, advancing me to correction. I'm taking a self-inspection, doing what I am destined and hoping to master essence. Owing myself the message that's sent to me by my brethren. Betraying myself could never be counted as an exception. So I have the candle that will always burn connected. Flame showing reflections of how there is no perfection. Experience is a method to leave ignorance decrepit. Pick it up where I left it and add it to my perception. Embrace it to my collection and place it among the sketches not meant to be, then accept it. Own the ideas rejected, the path is the one selected, and all of us are eclectic. Collaboration's eccentric, failure is just resentment. We control how we vent it, so make sure that your incentive is worthy of getting livid. Existence could always pivot, and it is still be my life the way that I intend to live. It's my life, my life. It's my sight, my sight. It's my wrong, my right. It's my life, my life, my life. It's my life, my life. It's my sight, my sight. It's my wrong, my right. It's my life, my life, my life. It's my life, my life, my life. It's my life, my life. It's my life, my right. It's my sight.
Put the lights on the vibe.
Rite of passage, these passages we write of passage. These passages we write of passage. These passages we write of passage. Rite of passage, rite of passage. These passages we write of passage. These passages we write of passage. These passages we write of passage. Rite of passage.
Bloodline sentiment, gathering is intimate. Check the birth certificate, all else insignificant. Our diligence deliberate, so when you consider it, we always will deliver it. These rhythms my deliverance, and rhetoric radiates imminence and past tense to outlast predominant outfits and outcasts. Counterfeit, illegitimate, artificial intelligence. My birthright, I embellish it. Storytelling through the ages to keep this story relevant.
History's evidence of misery's veterans, delivery medicines to injuries, accidents, taxidermists, instantly sediment. Facts concerning way back when a young man learning these testaments and scriptures with estimates on fixtures and investments on future dynasties pictured. Honest adventures from bar mitzvahs to voodoo elixirs for an MC with a mic and a DJ with a mixer.
Rite of passage, these passages we write of passage. These passages we write of passage. These passages we write of passage. Rite of passage, rite of passage. These passages we write of passage. These passages we write of passage. These passages we write of passage. Rite of passage.
Low rhymes and tenements, I'd rather bust mine limited, but I'm in a center and entering in whatever kind of style and predicament. I knew I'd get quicker and figuring when I was little, considering shitting on anyone picking on me when I was a little picking when nobody was sticking up for me but me, just a little cheap. Trust me, kicking it in the street, stick and move. When you get beat, if you act sweet, niggas will get with you and your issue with you with metal in the ghetto till things settle down and be cool, or when I get a little bigger.
Coming of age, coming of center, optimalizer, serving indenture. Da Vinci couldn't correlate the code, cracking of my inner strength to be a winner, ability to always provide my future family with a hot dinner. Handle all of the hunting, providing the warmth throughout the winter. Working of every bone until they splintered and injured. It's the parallel between a man and a mentor, and what they're really meant for. The trench for where all the fallen angels descend towards. Mikah and Woes depict scores and whores, clearing passages in good form.
Rite of passage, these passages we write of passage. These passages we write of passage. These passages we write of passage. Rite of passage, rite of passage. These passages we write of passage. These passages we write of passage. These passages we write of passage. Write of passage.
My face will be smiling when my melanin don't make me felony racially profiling, especially wildin'. Now that I'm older, I got soldiers and I'm a general in this freestyling. Meanwhile, I got a child and I've seen how they getting down.
So I keep my tongue crowned to compound the nouns. Woes the narrator of where the sorrows get drowned. Improvement sought pound for pound. This movement made from sound has thoroughly kept my feet locked into the ground.
I'm down with my hounds in them late night dashes. That's why he drives fast, right to passage.
With the nose for the lashes, gasping for air and a breath for the facet when he finds his reaction.
Mastered the craft and wall plastered the bastards.
Laughed at the bastards, mastermind and past.
Filibustered, still busting Phillies and disgusting.
Never rustic in the clutches when the masses grasp.
Write of passage. These passages we write of passage. These passages we write of passage. These passages we write of passage. Write of passage. Write of passage. These passages we write of passage. These passages we write of passage. These passages we write of passage. Write of passage. Write of passage. These passages we write of passage. These passages we write of passage. These passages we write of passage. Write of passage. Write of passage. These passages we write of passage. These passages we write of passage. These passages we write of passage. Write of passage.
The rights of man. The rights of man. The rights.
From my cafe, I can see the mountains through a haze. Workers on their break in a daze. Hidden lifestyles in the alleyway. Lost souls that choose to go astray. Silhouetted ashtrays that display the stress of another person's way. A multitude of characters lay in the body of the work on the table where they wait for the murmur of the patio to break into their own inspiration to create. Table talk of revolution, reminiscing over fate. People try to escape in a moment of loose conversation before they have to face what awaits on the other side of the cold world gates. Looking for a familiar face to make sure the world is still in place before they carry out their day. All seen from the view of my cafe.
Your ancestors knew this, or no one is secure. Your ancestors knew this, or no one is secure. Your ancestors knew this, or no one is secure. Your ancestors knew this. This does not mean giving up any freedom, except the freedom to act irresponsibly. Your ancestors knew this. We have an organization for the mutual protection of all planets and for the complete elimination of aggression. At the first sign of violence, they act automatically against the aggressor. The penalty for provoking their action is too terrible to risk. The result is, we live in peace, without arms or armies, secure in the knowledge that we are free from aggression and war, free to pursue more profitable enterprises. We do not pretend to have achieved perfection, but we do have a system, and it works. I came here to give you these facts. It is no concern of ours how you run your own planet. But if you threaten to extend your violence, this Earth of yours will be reduced to a burned-out cinder. Your choice is simple. Join us and live in peace, or pursue your present course and face obliteration. We shall be waiting for your answer. The decision rests with you. and preserve the peace.
It's the breath you take, it's the choice you make, it's the way you live, it's the things you give, it's the love you gain, it's the loss and pain, it's the earn respect, it's the learn neglect, it's the find the clues, it's the paying dues, it's the being kind, it's the growing mind, it's the thoughts that fade, it's the connections made, it's the passions held, it's the times we failed, it's the ones we lost, it's the cycles cost, it's the stories told, it's the memories we hold, it's the energy, it's the living free, it's the final course, it's the life force, it's the disagreement, it's the way you see it, it's the time taken, it's the sound of the awakened, it's the little hints, it's the message sent, it's the dreaming of these rights, it's all the meaning of this life. Biblical battles, scriptures that travel, ideas of the ages that plague and dismantle, prayers that conflict through another burning candle, all insecurity of a race searching for a handle, pride shrines erected like the Tower of Babel, bound to fall from misconception back amongst the gravel. Loose knitted fabrics have been proven to unravel. The fear of the unknown was the inventor of the castle. If we can't control this outcome, too much of a hassle. Infinite our ignorance, no universal tassel. Predictions of the future without learning from our past though. My belief that no one knows until we reach that plateau. One opinion cannot place another in the shadows. Murder over faith has me absolutely baffled. No one has all the answers, the questions getting trampled. This is what we leave behind us, setting an example. It's the voice you take, it's the claim you make, it's the cleansing wind, it's the forgotten friend, it's the fertile ground, it's the ghost town, it's the violent act, it's the baby's laugh, it's the mother's milk, it's the way we're built, it's the helping hand, it's the stagnant land, it's the broken chains, it's the silent rains, it's the verse of the Quran, it's the words written in Psalms, it's the evolution, it's the rising pollution, it's the root of hatred, it's what we hold as sacred, it's the building tension, it's the crossing of dimensions, it's the will to keep the fight, it's all the meaning of this life. Since the dawn of Homo sapien, the struggles only heighten. Bold is the statement made if you claim to be enlightened. Bombs drop like the tears of the youth that are raised frightened. Miscommunication lead to the clash of the titans. That becomes the wisdom every culture had inside them. Knowledge lost like Atlantis when nature called the titan. If there could have been a Krishna, then there could have been Poseidon. These very points of useless kept the whole globe fighting. How could they open their minds beyond their own lost writing? It's blasphemous in their eyes, so they'd rather keep on dying. This very old world thinking that has had me testifying, condemned by all religions for my absence of complying. The God that does not accept my faults I will be defying. Music my confessional, in you I am confiding. Prayer beats supplemented by the use of rhyming to find a piece of comfort while the conscious keep colliding. It's the path you take, it's the one you make, it's the life born, it's the one I'm meant to form, it's the lost nation, it's the one that replaced it, it's the situation that removes the intellect from the equation, stipulation that the safety comes through the invasion, misinterpretation of the scribe is passed along by generations, failure in the demonstration of the decency that's basic. Take a page from history and our disease, cause you could trace it. It's all the meaning of this life and we all gon' have to face it. It's all the meaning of this life and we all gon' have to face it. what I do because I feel compelled. Lost my footing on the trail, then I found myself derailed. Then I found myself derailed, then I found my heart impaled. At that point I felt I failed, then the inspiration came again. I paid the price of bail. Now I walk across the nails, and I lift up all the veils. Keep a hand atop the serpent for the changing of the scales. Keep the spreading of the tails and the drinking of the ales. Make a toast to my past when my person was still frail. Put a torch to the jail, I put a torch in the Bastille. By the times that I was captive, lacking keys to the cell. Toss a coin in the well, send a wish straight to hell. Letting Satan know he'll lose his throne. I found my holy grail. I am the justice, justice prevail. I am the balance, the weight and the scale. I am the justice, justice prevail. I am the balance, the weight and the scale.
Justice, justice.
Now the time has come to be prepared. Trust myself and be prepared. Analyze before I compromise who's right and what is fair. And a future to my heir won't rely on just a prayer. In the mirror I still stare just to see who's standing there. What the fuck is standing there? Does he even really care? Guess he does, I can tell when his voice drop on the snare. Feeling that can't be compared when the essence is so bare. Stop a moment, frozen time, universe left with a tear. And the sun shoots out a flare, out your solar in the air. The moon showing its reflection, how they make a lovely pair. How they make a lovely pair, as it seems to be so rare. Hold it as example when the ample energies are shared. I am the justice, justice prevail. I am the balance, the weight and the scale. I am the justice, justice prevail. I am the balance, the weight and the scale. The weight and the scale, the weight and the scale.
Justice.
Here's the point, you let loose all the pain. Let it free, focus the frame. No more need for walls and names. Leave them all back with the shame. Gotta leave behind the shame. Gotta find a higher aim. I aspire to retire all the meager little games. Save the fire and the flames. Elements and tables change. Find connections with myself and relate them to the grains. All the grasslands and the plains. Everything I had contained. But I fully had explained in the ways that I've been trained. All the ways that I've been trained. That I conquer most my brain. But the truth still exists in me. Won't let this be in vain. So forget the concept saying. Release reactions change. Sort the atoms for creation. Adaptation. Big bang. I am the justice, justice prevail. I am the balance, the weight and the scale. I am the justice, justice prevail. I am the balance, the weight and the scale. The weight and the scale, the weight and the scale. I am the justice, justice prevail. I am the balance, the weight and the scale. The weight and the scale, the weight and the scale. What's up, y'all? This is Woes. Chilling in the studio with my man R.A.W. About to close this album out. Just wanna give mad shout outs to my old school peoples. Much respect, much love. Shout outs to all the old school Concrete Jungle family. This is a retribution to whose contribution led unto my evolution. And might I add, I've come rather far, born of a musical genius and a shining star. It seems that we tend to forget the people who got us what we are. Thanks, moms, for teaching respect, changing my clothes, wiping my nose. My father for his artistic blood, the one who named me Woes. Me and my sister Lisa arose to the hard times we were so close. Reminisce when we used to play on Lawndale like Grandma Henzo's. Speaking of grandma, mother of 12, her royal majesty taught me about many things, especially the true meaning of family. My grandma and grandpa touched and didn't live to see the man I be, but their loving memory of what I learned is still inside of me. How can we afford to take appreciation oh so casually? Cause gradually from this life eventually your loved ones will move on. Relatively speaking, you should respect your relatives before they're gone. They made you, shaped you, part of your whole being, so you must be seeing my point by now. Of your blood you should be proud. The volume of your thankfulness can never be too loud. My DNA is like my shroud, wherein I find my passion I vow. And every time I recollect it, my existence is reflected. The hands of those that lift my chin and keep my life in check did more for me than I could ever repay. That's why I'm thankful that I'm living my life like each and every day. My person wouldn't be much without my friends and family. What would I be without my family? Where would I find my virtues, my values, and my morality? What would I do without my friends? Throughout my life I can't depend. How would I find myself within if it wasn't for all of them? What would I be without my family? Where would I find my virtues, my values, and my morality? What would I do without my friends? Throughout my life I can't depend. How would I find myself within if it wasn't for all of them? Verbal building, yo. Verbal building. Verbal building, yo. Verbal building. Peace. I ponder over the memories, many stories come to mind. Visions of the past that define my entire timeline. And I find myself feeling blessed to know that I've been touched and also reciprocated enough of myself under others, as these times we face can be tough. And positive thinking and always off the cuff. Maturity calling my bluff. Late night sessions searching for peace of mind with a drink and another puff as I watch the smoke rise upon the starry filled sky, waiting for the arrival of the sun. In-depth conversation with the rhyme, wonder what destiny waits for me over the horizon. I somehow feel my quest has just begun. Out of my one-on-one, then reality grips my mind and finds a way to drag me back down to bills and payday. Lay my head down to the pillow, think of the money I borrowed, loves I lost, friends that move on, death in the family. You know that right before you fall asleep, sorrow that enters your head when you're feeling hollow, tossing and turning. No matter how many drinks of water I swallow, no sleep for the wicked cause it's already tomorrow. All of my scenes from the past, flipping the script for the future is quite a task. How to direct myself and who will play the cast? Why make it to last act with this lack of rest? Sleep deprivation got me delirious, taking deep breaths. Try to regain focus and accept that life's roads twist and wind. Thick as blood, then as wine. Either way the clock will chime, you will always find. With time these days they lead to age, and age is gained through joy and pain to turn the page. The only constant is change. The only constant is change. It may seem strange when rearranged, but through the strain you know you've gained. Your goal remains. The only constant is change. The only constant is change. Risen from collision, admitting what I had written. Sad, jet driven, given what I've been given. Living, learning, life spins. The mischievous young boy grins, sits across from himself as a man. They take each other's hand and laugh and cry. Try not to question, but within embedded is still wonder why. A long embrace, face to face, parting company. They rejoin the memories, remember me. Utter softly, often unique, discussing the past, present, and future with your life lessons previous to it. Who'd you be then? Watching the ignorance of your youth, scream truth directly towards the only place needed to take the message in. Take the message in, put an end to this way of life which drags ever so slowly across your skin. Shredded edge, leaving lacerations. Oh, where you been? Scars that run deep, cheapening the sense of security in which I survive. Emotionally kindle flames, eternally nurture and burning guilt, releasing my demons from inside. With time these days they lead to age, and age is gained through joy and pain to turn the page. The only constant is change. The only constant is change. It may seem strange when rearranged, but through the strain you know you've gained. Your goal remains. The only constant is change. The only constant is change. Survival of the fittest, from the poorest to the richest. Picket fences to the trenches, secret garden to the sewer stenches. In between the tenants and the people paying penance, lived the man who had an image of himself to be weak and deceived by the timid. So we never pushed the limit, cause his heart was never in it. On his face you saw the blemish of his hope that had diminished. Cynicism had him finished, couldn't handle any critics. All alone he sat there, just awaiting for the ending of the life that he pretended, and the lie that he defended. All the wrongs he never mended, phobia had him suspended in the corner of his room with the gun his friend had lent him. Selfishly he was demented. Father, please forgive me for the sins that I've committed. Cowardly he put the clipping down the rum that he'd been sipping. Put the gun against his head, saw only red hammer clicking. Fear, loneliness, remembrance of years, being born, clear, oh God. Elementary, junior high, birthdays, family, death, work. Fear, anxiety, fear, my knowledge, dark, afraid. Please, how could this be? Wait, clarity, clear. Alone the man was sitting in the corner, still suspended with the gun against his head, the very one his friend had lent him. Pulled the trigger, only clicking, something wrong with the weapon that was supposed to be the ending to the last of his living. Clarity he hadn't given, his reflection what he saw on the glass that he'd been sipping. Wiped the tears that had been dripping, then he really started tripping on the gift that he'd been given. Realization that the fear was just a part of this living, so his spirit was uplifted. Motor thinking habits shifted, all the suffering had drifted, and emotions had been sifted. A loud laugh and he meant it, but he realized that inside his life he'd now have no resentment. The only thing to fear is fear itself. How much you put on it is how much you dealt. Accepted this reality, the man who mastered fear. Embraced this relationship, the man who mastered fear. Revered the unknown, the man who mastered fear. Now the chamber is clear, the man who mastered fear. The man who mastered fear, the man who mastered fear. Southern California, the land of the smart. Back in the day before the CD or iPod, you can find my feet stomping from block to block. Backpack full of tapes, it's about to be a long walk. Headphones, batteries, time to kick rocks. Ice Cube, De La Soul, Fellowship Pop. Leaders of the new school, Drez and J-Rock. Ice C, AMG, of course the short shot. Gang starts to feel when the boxcars drop. Raz Cash Tribe, man, the listen don't stop. This was the golden era of hip-hop, when even the radio played that shit that got props. Heyday, Friday night flavors, wake up show on top. Way before Snoop ever dropped it like it's hot. Good life and unity, those were the spots that all my heads know about the days of the walk. I'm a Walkman child raised by the boom bap.
Original rap.
I'm a Walkman child raised by the boom bap.
Original rap.
I'm a Walkman child raised by the boom bap.
Original rap.
I'm a Walkman child raised by the boom bap.
Original rap.
Strolling down the street cause that's how I was living. Constantly moving with my Walkman kicking. All alone in the zone and I'm feeling no friction. The soundtrack of my life with no CD skipping. Pete Rock got me rewinding remixes. J.R.A.W got me having jungle music vision. Then it's time to pay the ATL a little visit. Goody Mob and Outkast, Southern player listed. Back to the West Coast, Alcoholics and Exhibit. And let me tell you to this day that I am still living. To the Golden State Warrior album never got finished. I say that as a connoisseur, never as a critic. Addicted to these tapes like they had nicotine in it. My heart rate in sync with the beats played per minute. Pushing the reels, I'm a Walkman to the limit. Switch right over to the B-side when the A-side is finished. I'm a Walkman child raised by the boom bap.
Original rap.
I'm a Walkman child raised by the boom bap.
Original rap.
I'm a Walkman child raised by the boom bap.
Original rap.
I'm a Walkman child raised by the boom bap.
Original rap.
Downloads and burnables, music that is free. Modern technology is just not the same to me. Give me that throwback, old grainy sound quality. A mixtape ain't the same as a mix of MP3s. And I know at this point that there's no going back. Feeling like my pops did when he lost his 8-track. Storing all my collections like they were artifacts. Feel it in my chest every time another tape snap. Doing what I can to try and preserve my favorite tracks. Played so many times there's a constant hissing in the back. Having no real choice but to switch to compact. But I know better than to let myself get attached, cause there's always new shit being put up on the rack. Thank God to all the DJs that's protecting all our wax. Rest in peace to my tapes, but I'll let you know a fact. I'm a Walkman child raised by the boom bap. I'm a Walkman child raised by the boom bap.
Original rap.
I'm a Walkman child raised by the boom bap.
Original rap.
I'm a Walkman child raised by the boom bap.
Original rap.
I'm a Walkman child raised by the boom bap.
Original rap.
This goes out to all my old school heads out there. Headphones in hallways, backpacks and tape stacks.
Original rap.
Walkman child, undying. One love, one love, one love. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Alright, y'all. This album would not have been possible to make without the help of a few people. I'd like to shout them out right about now. Good looking out too. Mirror 1, Mikah 9, Daddy Kev, R.A.W, aka B-Boy 3000, Shakedown, Maintain, Daryl Ashley, the OG John Harrelson, and especially my executive producer, Danny Henzo. Thank you very much. Hope y'all enjoyed the album. Verbal Building. You are not alone. I'm sorry.